Picture this: the glamorous world of fame, fortune, and luxury turned upside down overnight. For years, Vanessa Bryant has been seen as the epitome of strength, grace, and resilience, an icon who held her family together after unimaginable tragedy. But now, a shocking storm is brewing, and it has everyone talking. Outspoken sports commentator Stephen A. Smith has just dropped a bombshell claim that could shake Hollywood and the NBA world to its core. He says Vanessa Bryant is secretly on the brink of bankruptcy. Yes, you heard that right, bankruptcy. Fans are stunned, critics are speechless, and the whispers of betrayal, financial chaos, and hidden truths are spreading like wildfire. What could have possibly gone wrong for someone who seemed untouchable? Was the lavish lifestyle too much to sustain, or are there deeper secrets waiting to be uncovered? And why is Stephen A. so determined to expose this now? The tension is sky high, the accusations are flying, and the family at the center of it all may never be the same again. Stay tuned, because this is not just another celebrity headline, this is the kind of scandal that leaves legacies in ruins. The whispers began with a single interview. Stephen A. Smith sat in his usual chair, fire in his eyes and a tone sharper than ever. He leaned forward, and with the world watching, he delivered words that sent shockwaves across social media. Vanessa Bryant is not who y'all think she is. She's going broke, and she's hiding it. Those words instantly trended, exploding across timelines, and within minutes, millions were asking the same question. How could Vanessa Bryant, the widow of one of the most legendary athletes in NBA history, possibly be facing bankruptcy? Fans who adored her were outraged, but curiosity spread faster than outrage. In a matter of hours, YouTube channels, gossip blogs, and podcasts were dissecting every single sentence Stephen A. had said. People wanted to know where he got his information, and more importantly, why he chose this moment to expose her. Had he seen financial documents? Had someone from her inner circle leaked private details? Or was this simply a desperate grab for attention in a world addicted to drama? Behind the curtains, Vanessa's circle was already crumbling. According to insiders, she had been clashing with close friends about her spending habits. One friend allegedly warned her weeks before Stephen A.'s revelation. You can't keep throwing these lavish parties and buying new properties like money will never run out. Eventually, people will start asking questions. Vanessa had brushed off the concern, insisting that she was fine, that everything was under control. But the reality was far from the image she projected on social media. Rumors suggest that Vanessa's lifestyle had spiraled beyond her control. Exotic vacations, multi-million-dollar mansions, designer collections worth more than most people's lifetime earnings. Every detail of her life screamed luxury. But what no one realized was that the estate she inherited was slowly being drained by lawsuits, legal battles, and a stream of questionable investments. Insiders whispered that she had put millions into ventures that collapsed overnight, leaving her scrambling to cover losses while maintaining the image of endless wealth. And then came the alleged betrayal. Sources close to the family claimed that someone very near to Vanessa, possibly a former business advisor, had shared sensitive financial details with Stephen A. It was this betrayal that fueled his explosive rant. "She's not being honest with the public," he insisted, raising his voice during the segment. "And I don't care if people come after me for saying this. Truth is truth. I know what I know." His words cut deep, not only because of their weight, but because of the conviction in his tone. The fallout was immediate. Vanessa's fans flooded social media with messages of support, insisting that Stephen A. had gone too far. Some called it cruel, others accused him of exploiting her grief for headlines. But behind the sympathy, there was another side of the conversation. People began connecting dots they had ignored before. Why had Vanessa recently sold one of her properties for less than its market value? Why had she been absent from public events where she was once a fixture? Why had her social media presence shifted from glamorous displays of wealth to more subtle, carefully curated posts? As the speculation spread, tensions inside the Bryant family reportedly grew unbearable. Relatives whispered about whether Vanessa had been entirely transparent with them about the state of her finances. One family member, speaking anonymously to a tabloid, confessed, "We've had concerns for a while, but nobody wanted to bring it up. We didn't think it was our place." Now, after what Stephen A. said, it feels like the truth is spilling out, whether we're ready for it or not. Vanessa herself remained silent in those first few days, which only fueled the fire. Her silence was interpreted as guilt by some, while others defended her right not to dignify Stephen A.'s claims with a response. Still, the media frenzy intensified. Paparazzi camped outside her home, capturing every moment she stepped outside, every glance that could be read as worry or fear. Fans zoomed in on her expressions, creating viral clips titled, "Vanessa Bryant looks stressed after bankruptcy rumors." Behind closed doors, Vanessa was said to be furious. Friends close to her revealed that she broke down in tears, shouting, "How dare he drag my name like this? How dare he disrespect my family?" She reportedly considered suing Stephen A., but lawyers advised her that proving defamation would be an uphill battle. "The damage is already done," one advisor allegedly told her. "People believe him because he's Stephen A. They think he has the receipts, and receipts are what everyone was now desperate to see." Social media users demanded proof. Hashtags like #VanessaBryantBankrupt and #StepHENA exposed began trending, dividing fans into two camps: those who believed Vanessa was being unfairly attacked, and those who believed Stephen A. had exposed a hidden truth. The family's reputation was at stake, and even friends of Kobe Bryant were caught in the crossfire. Some stayed silent, refusing to be dragged into the drama, while others quietly reached out to Vanessa to offer support. But then another twist emerged. A former associate of Vanessa came forward, giving a tell-all interview to a gossip magazine. The associate claimed that Vanessa had been borrowing money from friends and associates, promising to pay them back but failing to do so on time. She wasn't broke when she asked, the associate revealed, but she was clearly struggling with cash flow. It was like she was juggling too many expenses at once. This revelation set the stage for an even bigger storm. Now, people weren't just speculating about bankruptcy. They were convinced it was only a matter of time before the truth exploded publicly. Fans were stunned, emotions ran high, and the family was left divided. Stephen A., meanwhile, doubled down on his statements during another broadcast, declaring, "People don't want to hear it, but she's drowning financially. And the sooner we accept that, the sooner she can get help." His words struck like lightning. To some, it sounded like concern. To others, it felt like an attack disguised as advice. But no matter how it was framed, the damage to Vanessa's carefully constructed image was undeniable. Her reputation, once untouchable, was now hanging by a thread, and just as the world thought the scandal had reached its peak, whispers began about an even deeper secret one that would drag more names into the spotlight, intensify the betrayals, and push the family to a breaking point they never thought they'd face. What had started as an explosive claim by a sports commentator was spiraling into a full-blown saga of hidden debts, broken trust, and shocking revelations that no one saw coming. The stage was set. The players were ready. And the truth, or at least the version of it the world would believe, was about to unfold in ways more traumatic than anyone imagined. Part 2 would begin with the shocking confrontation that would shake Vanessa's world even further, leaving fans breathless and desperate for answers. The confrontation happened sooner than anyone expected. After days of silence, Vanessa finally agreed to meet with a few close friends and family members in the privacy of her mansion. Emotions were already running high, and whispers of Stephen A.'s accusations hung heavy in the air. One relative, unable to hold back, broke the silence with a trembling voice. "Vanessa, people are saying you're hiding things from us. Are you really in trouble financially?" Her eyes widened, her voice sharp. "Do you really believe that man over me? Do you think I would lie to my own family?" Tears welled in her eyes, but the anger in her tone was undeniable. "I've been carrying the weight of everything since Kobe passed, and instead of standing with me, you're questioning me." The room grew tense. Some defended her, insisting Stephen A. was simply chasing headlines. But others admitted that the rumors lined up with things they had noticed: the sudden sale of property, the quieter lifestyle, the canceled appearances. Vanessa felt cornered, as if the very people she leaned on were pulling away. What happened next made the situation even more explosive. Just as the heated conversation reached its peak, Vanessa's phone buzzed. A notification lit up her screen. It was a headline from a popular gossip site. "Exclusive: Vanessa Bryant secretly liquidating assets to cover debt." Gasps filled the room as family members read over her shoulder. The article detailed alleged sales of jewelry, artwork, and cars. Though none of the claims were fully verified, the story painted a devastating picture of desperation. "This is lies. Vanessa. Lies. Vanessa. shouted, slamming her phone down. "They're twisting everything. Yes, I've sold things, but that doesn't mean I'm broke. It means I'm smart enough to invest differently." But her defense fell flat in the eyes of some, who saw it as an admission rather than a denial. Outside those walls, fans were dissecting every new rumor with ruthless intensity. Social media exploded with debates. Some argued that Vanessa was simply reorganizing her finances, while others swore she was sinking fast. Influencers began making reaction videos, racking up millions of views as they speculated on her downfall. "The signs are all there," one viral creator declared. "Lavish lifestyles don't last forever. If she doesn't come clean soon, the truth is going to come out in the worst way possible." Stephen A., watching the chaos unfold, wasn't backing down. In a fiery appearance on his show, he snapped back at critics who accused him of being cruel. "Let me make this crystal clear," he said, pointing at the camera. "I didn't create this situation. I'm just telling y'all what's really going on. If Vanessa Bryant wants to prove me wrong, she can. Show the books. Show the truth. Silence ain't gonna cut it." His words felt like a direct challenge, daring her to reveal her finances publicly. Meanwhile, another bombshell dropped, this time from someone who claimed to be a former financial advisor to Vanessa. Speaking anonymously, the advisor alleged that Vanessa had made several risky investments after Kobe's passing, including a luxury real estate project that collapsed during construction. "Millions were poured into it and nothing came back," the source revealed. "She trusted the wrong people. She was grieving and they took advantage." This revelation struck fans differently. For the first time, sympathy began mixing with the scandal. Instead of mocking her, some began to pity her. "She's been through so much already," one fan tweeted. "If she's struggling financially, it's because people exploited her pain. That doesn't mean she's a failure." Yet others weren't so forgiving, insisting that grief didn't excuse mismanagement of such a massive fortune. Inside her home, Vanessa's frustration grew unbearable. She confided in a close friend late one night, pacing the floor as tears streamed down her face. "I can't take this anymore. Everywhere I turn, someone is stabbing me in the back. I don't even know who to trust. Kobe isn't here to protect me, and now they're all circling like vultures." Her friend tried to reassure her, but the betrayal cut too deep. As if that weren't enough, tensions with her daughters reportedly began surfacing. Though young, they couldn't escape the storm of gossip swirling around their family name. Classmates whispered, social media comments stung, and the once protected bubble of their lives seemed to be cracking. Vanessa overheard one of them ask quietly, "Mom, are we really broke?" The question broke her heart. At the same time, Hollywood circles were buzzing with rumors. Insiders at exclusive parties whispered that Vanessa had been quietly distancing herself from certain friends, particularly those with reputations for leaking stories. One Hollywood socialite claimed Vanessa's cleaning house. "She doesn't know who she can trust anymore, so she's cutting people off left and right. It's survival mode." But the real shock came when documents allegedly leaked online. Screenshots of supposed legal filings suggested that Vanessa had mortgaged one of her properties to cover outstanding debts. Though skeptics questioned their authenticity, the images spread like wildfire. Fans were stunned, emotions ran high, and the narrative that she was on the brink of financial ruin gained momentum. Stephen A. seized on the opportunity, going live on his platform to react in real time. "What did I tell y'all?" he shouted passionately. "This ain't about gossip anymore. This is facts. She's drowning and the receipts are starting to surface. People need to stop acting like this is some fairy tale. Money runs out if you don't protect it." His words sparked even more outrage. Supporters accused him of bullying a widow, while his defenders praised him for speaking the truth no one else dared to. The debate split fans down the middle. But one thing was clear, the drama wasn't dying down anytime soon. And then came the next betrayal, the one that would escalate the saga beyond imagination. Reports surfaced that a trusted family insider had secretly been feeding information to journalists for months. According to tabloids, this insider wasn't just leaking minor details, they were providing exact figures, inside conversations, and private family drama. When Vanessa discovered this, insiders say she lost control. In a tearful outburst, she shouted, "Whoever's doing this is dead to me. I don't care if it's blood. I will never forgive this kind of betrayal." As the walls around her seemed to close in tighter, The world watched with bated breath. What started as a single explosive claim by Stephen A. had spiraled into a storm of leaks, betrayals, and emotional breakdowns. And the most shocking revelations were still waiting in the shadows, ready to tear open wounds that had never healed and expose secrets Vanessa had fought desperately to protect. The real twist was about to arrive, the involvement of unexpected allies and enemies, who would shift the entire narrative, dragging even more powerful names into the drama and leaving fans unable to look away. Part 3 would dive into the heart of those alliances and betrayals, where friendships would shatter, unexpected voices would rise, and the truth would become more complicated than anyone imagined. The third act of this unfolding storm began when unexpected voices entered the conversation. For weeks, it had been Stephen A.'s relentless commentary and anonymous insiders driving the narrative. But now former NBA players and Hollywood figures started speaking out. One ex-teammate of Kobe appearing on a podcast said cautiously, "Look, I don't know what Vanessa's situation is, but I know Kobe always tried to make sure his family was set for life. If she's struggling now, something went seriously wrong behind the scenes." His words struck a nerve, not only because of the respect he commanded, but also because they implied the problem wasn't imagined, it was real. Social media exploded again, with fans debating whether the issue was mismanagement, betrayal by advisors, or simply the weight of maintaining such a massive lifestyle without new income flowing in. Hashtags shifted, with some users posting hashtag pray for Vanessa while others doubled down on hashtag Stephen is right. Emotions ran high as each new detail added fuel to the fire. Then came an even more shocking twist. Reports claimed that Vanessa had reached out privately to a former friend she had fallen out with years earlier, someone who had once been part of her inner circle but left after a bitter dispute. Insiders said she was desperate to repair old alliances, hoping this friend could help her navigate the financial chaos and rebuild trust in a world where betrayal lurked everywhere. She swallowed her pride, one source revealed. She knew she needed allies, no matter how complicated the past was. But even that attempt at reconciliation backfired. Within days, tabloids ran stories claiming the former friend had turned down her outreach, telling reporters she's only coming back around because she needs something. "I don't want to be used again." The rejection was a public humiliation, and the narrative of desperation only grew stronger. Meanwhile, Vanessa's daughters were caught in the whirlwind. The oldest, still trying to maintain her own life outside the drama, faced brutal comments online. Trolls flooded her social media with cruel messages like, "Your mom's broke," and "How long before you're selling the mansion?" Though she tried to ignore it, friends said the bullying left her in tears. Vanessa, already weighed down, reportedly broke down herself when she saw her children suffering because of the gossip. "They don't deserve this," she sobbed to a close confidant. "They've already lost so much, and now the world wants to tear them apart too." While the family fractured under pressure, Stephen continued to escalate. During the particularly fiery segment, he addressed Vanessa directly. "You want me to stop talking? Then prove me wrong. But as long as you're hiding behind silence while documents and insiders keep leaking, I'm not backing down. I don't care if it makes me the villain." And then, almost like clockwork, more leaks emerged. This time, it wasn't just whispers of property sales or failed investments, it was alleged bank statements. Though the authenticity was debated, the numbers suggested debts far larger than anyone had imagined. Fans were shocked, journalists went into overdrive, and Vanessa's silence now looked like confirmation in the eyes of many. But here's where the saga twisted again. A well-known celebrity attorney stepped forward, publicly defending Vanessa. "These leaks are unverified, and the narrative being spun is cruel and reckless," he declared during a press conference. Vanessa Bryant is not bankrupt. She has faced unimaginable tragedy, and now vultures are trying to capitalize on her pain. Shame on anyone who participates in the circus. His words offered a moment of relief for her supporters. But the damage had already been done. Privately, Vanessa was torn. On one hand, she wanted to fight back with everything she had: lawsuits, statements, proof. On the other, she feared that opening her finances to the public would invite even more scrutiny. "Once I show them anything," she confided to a friend, "they'll pick it apart until there's nothing left. I can't win either way." To make matters worse, more betrayals surfaced. A staff member, someone Vanessa had trusted for years, was accused of selling private information to gossip outlets. When she confronted them, the confrontation reportedly turned explosive. "How could you do this to me?" she shouted, her voice cracking. "After everything I gave you, after all the trust?" The staff member offered little defense, and by the end of the night, they were gone from her home. The cracks were widening everywhere inside the family, within her friendships, even among those she paid to protect her. She was isolated, surrounded by walls but no shield from the storm. Yet amid the chaos, another unexpected figure stepped into the spotlight. A retired Hollywood producer who claimed to have known Kobe and Vanessa for years. In a television interview, he hinted that Kobe had warned of financial instability long before his passing. "He was worried," the producer claimed. "He told me once, 'I don't know if Vanessa can handle all this alone.' It wasn't a criticism, it was fear. He wanted to make sure she'd be safe. And now? Well, now we're seeing his fears come true." This revelation shattered fans who had long believed in the image of a perfect, unshakable family. If Kobe himself had doubts, what did that mean about the life they had built together? The narrative shifted again from Vanessa being solely at fault to her being a tragic figure, left with burdens she couldn't manage alone. Still, the gossip machine refused to slow down. Tabloids teased more leaks, influencers promised new exposes, and every move Vanessa made was scrutinized. A simple trip to the grocery store became a viral moment, with fans analyzing whether she looked tired, stressed, or defeated. In the middle of this chaos, another voice entered, the voice of a longtime family friend who had remained silent until now. In a candid interview, the friend said, "Vanessa is stronger than people think. Yes, she's struggling. Yes, mistakes were made. But don't count her out. She's not the type to let anyone define her story. This isn't the end, it's the beginning of a fight." Those words sparked new hope among her supporters. But they also set the stage for the next phase of the drama. Battle not just against rumors, but against powerful forces who seemed determined to bring her down. The whispers hinted at lawsuits, countersuits, and even deeper betrayals involving people Vanessa never thought she'd clash with. And so, as part 3 closed, the story balanced on a knife's edge. Vanessa was fighting to reclaim her voice. Stephen A. was doubling down harder than ever, and the world was glued to every twist. The betrayals had already cut deep, but the war that was about to erupt would drag in even more names, push emotions to the breaking point, and leave everyone asking, how much more could Vanessa endure before the truth, whatever it was, finally came crashing down? Part 4 would plunge into the chaos of those final confrontations. The battles that would either destroy Vanessa's reputation forever or give her the chance to rise from the ashes in a way no one saw coming. The final stage of this storm erupted like a volcano, swallowing everyone in its path. By now, the headlines had shifted from speculation to all-out war. One major news outlet declared, "Vanessa Bryant faces financial reckoning, friends turn into foes." It was no longer whispers in the shadows. It was a firestorm in plain view, and Vanessa stood at the center of it. Bruised but not broken. Her breaking point came during a late-night television segment where Stephen A. once again unleashed his fury. His voice thundered through the screen. "I said it before and I'll say it again, she's hiding the truth. People keep telling me to back off, but I'm not backing off until the public knows the reality. If she wants to shut me down, she has to do it with facts, not silence." The audience gasped. The clip went viral, and within hours, it was the most talked about moment on social media. Vanessa had had enough. In a moment of pure defiance, she called her lawyers and ordered a public statement to be prepared. "I won't let him control the story any longer," she said with fire in her eyes. "If they want facts, then I'll give them facts, but on my terms." Her team scrambled to put together documents, explanations, and evidence that would at least raise doubt about the bankruptcy claims. But before she could even release her statement, another betrayal exploded. Leaked recordings surfaced private conversations Vanessa had allegedly had with a close confidant. In one of the clips, she was heard saying, "I don't know how much longer I can keep this up. The bills, the pressure, it's all suffocating me." Though the authenticity of the recordings was debated, the damage was catastrophic. Fans were stunned, critics pounced, and the word spread across the internet like wildfire. Inside her home, emotions ran high. She screamed through tears, "Who's doing this to me? Who keeps stabbing me in the back?" Her daughters tried to console her, but the pain was written all over her face. She was being hunted not just by gossip, but by people she once trusted with her soul. And then came the lawsuit rumors. Insiders claimed Vanessa was preparing to sue multiple media outlets for defamation, as well as individuals she suspected of leaking information. "She's going to war," one source revealed. "This isn't about money anymore, it's about survival, about clearing her name." Her supporters rallied around her, using hashtags like #StandWithVanessa, but her critics doubled down, insisting she was only reacting because the truth had finally cornered her. Stephen A., never one to back away from controversy, fired back again. In a heated monologue, he declared, "I don't care if she sues me. I'm not afraid. If she wants to drag this to court, let's do it. The truth will come out there too." The tension between them now felt like more than just a media feud, it felt personal, like a battle for control over the narrative of her life. But in the midst of all this, something unexpected happened. A group of Kobe's former teammates, led by a well-known NBA legend, released a joint statement. In it, they didn't confirm or deny the bankruptcy rumors, but they expressed support for Vanessa, calling her a pillar of strength who has endured more than most people can imagine. They asked the public to show compassion instead of cruelty. The statement touched millions of fans, softening some hearts, but it also sparked fresh debate. Was this genuine support or a carefully orchestrated move to protect Kobe's legacy? The drama reached its peak when Vanessa finally appeared in public for the first time since the scandal began. Cameras flashed as she walked into a charity event, dressed elegantly but with visible tension in her eyes. Reporters shouted questions, fans screamed her name, and for a moment it felt like the entire world was holding its breath. She stopped, turned toward the crowd, and said softly but firmly, "I'm not broken. I will not be defined by rumors or lies." The clip instantly went viral, hailed by her supporters as a powerful clapback. But behind the scenes, the battle was far from over. Lawsuits were still being drafted, Stephen A. was still ranting on television, and gossip outlets promised even more bombshells. The family remained divided, friendships shattered, and the truth, whatever it was, remained hidden behind layers of half-revealed secrets and conflicting narratives. As the dust settled, one thing became clear: this saga wasn't just about money. It was about legacy, trust, and survival in a world where every move was watched, every word dissected, and every weakness exploited. Vanessa's fight wasn't over, it had only just begun, and so the story closed not with resolution, but with uncertainty. Would Vanessa rise from the ashes and reclaim her power? Or would the betrayals, leaks, and relentless accusations finally consume her? Fans were left divided, emotions raw, and the family forever changed. One thing was undeniable. The scandal that began with Stephen A.'s explosive claim had become one of the most dramatic sagas in celebrity history. A tale of grief, wealth, betrayal, and resilience that would be remembered for years to come. And as the curtain fell on this chapter, the world waited breathlessly for what would come next, and there you have it. The scandal that has rocked the worlds of sports, Hollywood, and fandom alike. From Stephen A. Smith's shocking accusations to Vanessa Bryant's tearful battles behind closed doors, we've witnessed betrayal, heartbreak, and a storm of secrets that no one saw coming. Fans are still reeling, the family remains divided, and the truth is tangled in layers of rumors, speculation, and half-revealed details. Was Stephen A. right all along, or is Vanessa the victim of a relentless media circus determined to tear her down? Is this the beginning of her comeback, or the final chapter in a story too painful to imagine? The unanswered questions linger like a shadow. Who leaked those private conversations? Why did so many insiders suddenly turn against her? And most importantly, will Vanessa find a way to silence the chaos and protect the legacy of her family? Or will the scandals keep unraveling until there's nothing left to hide? But now I want to hear from you. Do you believe Vanessa is truly facing financial ruin, or do you think Stephen A. Smith has gone too far this time? Drop your thoughts in the comments below and let's get this conversation going. Don't forget to hit that like button if you were shocked by these twists, subscribe to the channel for more explosive updates, and ring the notification bell so you never miss the next chapter of this drama. Trust me, you won't want to look away because in stories like this, the truth is always stranger than fiction.